This video will show you how to do problem 2 in the Monday homework. So reading the directions, it says use the algebra expand command to multiply 2x minus 3 times x plus 4 equals 0 into a quadratic equation. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go to the calculator. I'm in a calculator page. So I'm going to use menu, 3 for algebra, and 3 for expand. I then put in parenthesis, then 2x minus 3. Use the right arrow to break out of the first set of parentheses, put in another, and then x plus 4. I'm going to hit enter, and the calculator expanded the two binomials into a trinomial. So I'm going to take that and write it as an equation. So 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 equals 0. Use the algebra solve command to solve the equation. What are the two solutions? So back to the calculator, menu, 3 for algebra, 1 for solve. I'm going to up arrow, highlight my trinomial, hit enter, and it pastes it down here into the solve command. Now I need to turn that into an equation by setting it equal to 0, then putting in a comma, and I have to tell the calculator which variable to solve for, and that is x. So we get x equals -4 or x equals 3/2. So I'm going to write those down. X equals -4 or x equals 3/2. Can you solve this equation by factoring and using the zero product principle? And the answer is I can. So I'm going to rewrite it as 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 equals 0. So I need to break this up into two linear binomials that are multiplied together. So to get a 2x squared, I'm going to need a 2x and an x. So if I multiply those two together, I get 2x squared. Now the sign on my constant term is negative, so I know there's going to be a positive and a negative. Having this lead coefficient be something other than 1 makes it a little bit harder. I don't really know right now whether the minus goes here and the plus goes here or vice versa. So I'm going to look at the different ways that I can multiply two numbers together and get a -12. I can do a -1 times +12. I can do a -2 times +6. I can do a -3 times +4. I can also switch the signs around. I could do +1 times -12, +2 times -6, or +3 times -4. So looking at this, when I multiply 2x times this number, I'm going to try the +4 first. And then if I do +4 here, I need a -3 here. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 4 is +8x. -3 times x is -3x. And -3 times 4 we knew was going to be -12. If I add those two rows together, I get 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. That is the right or the left side of the equation that I started with. So this is the correct factorization. I'm now going to use the zero product principle. The zero product principle says if something times something equals 0, one of the things is equal to 0. So I can write two little equations. 2x minus 3 equals 0, or x plus 4 equals 0. This one can be solved pretty much by inspection. So this gives me x equals negative 4. Here it's a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides and get 2x equals 3. Then divide both sides by 2 and I get x equals 3 halves. So when this lead coefficient is something other than 1, the factoring is a little bit more complicated. So I kind of knew that the answer was going to be, or the factorization was going to be this, and skipped to that. You might have to try trial and error a couple of times to get the correct factorization. And that concludes this video.